All right. Good morning, everyone. Hopefully, you guys are all doing good. Today is September 25th, 2025. We're back at it again. Here again. Showing up another day. Um, and, you know, we've basically predicted everything for the past couple days, which, it can be frustrating because you can get biased completely right. But if you can't get an entry, then what are you supposed to do? And I had a pretty good idea that we were gonna draw down to fill these overnight gaps. Yo, what up, Gary? You can see this overnight gap was super obvious, and so I was like, yeah, we're probably gonna come down, fill this, especially because we had a giant 12-hour inversion, and once again, it's easy to get bias right, but you gotta have risk management. So where do you put your stop loss? And that's the part that's frustrating about trading is like, if I didn't need a stop loss, I could just target the drawn liquidity. But anyway, sometimes you just have to accept that you're not. It's all just a giant process, even when you're right. It's a giant process. The nice thing is we haven't filled the RTH gap yet, which means this is still a drawn liquidity, right? But I don't know how long that's going to last. I think we might hit that pretty soon here. 1 hour candle just formed the top wick. Yeah, but clearly, to me, we're drawing to the end of this RTH gap at this point, right? And, we already framed out both of these sell models. Both ended up using old breakers to reject price lower. Maybe actually you want to mark it out like this. Actually, it's probably fine. But yeah, these old breakers on the opposite side of the curve, pretty nice. You can use them as your PD rate to short. So, yeah. Once again, I wanted to see this move in New York. I'm not a huge fan of the fact that we already got this move. It's obviously a little annoying, but what can we do? Right? We're just gonna keep showing up, and yeah. What the? I mean, sometimes some of these templates, I'm like, when did I make that? So yeah, we had a breaker here, and then another breaker here. Now we're delivering to go fill this RTH gap. So I guess that's the first thing we'll take note of. Like, we're probably gonna go fill this RTH gap. So let's put that in. Guys, I wish I could trade London and New York every single day because I don't know. If I could do that, then I would give myself 2 trades a day because then I'd have a complete opportunity to reset, and 1 trade in London, 1 trade in New York, and I would make separate accounts. Honestly, that's something I would consider doing. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna get my trading accounts pulled up. And then let's just try and look at price in the moment, not look at, what already happened, but instead look at the moment. But yeah, maybe Price will chill out and then we'll get something in New York later. Who knows, honestly. Yeah, it's just crazy because, like, obviously there's so many opportunities every day, right? You can take this as a 1 hour breaker, drop down to a 5 minute, and then there's a 5 minute change in state. You know, or actually, it might be better as 4 hour. 4 hour, yeah, 4 hour breaker, and a 4 hour gap, and then a 15 minute change in state. And it's like there's so many opportunities every single day, yet what am I missing? Like, why can't I take these opportunities? See, this is why I actually would like to trade London sometimes, because it's like, wow, this was a good time to trade London. We obviously had our opportunity during London this morning. And, had I known that, yeah, I'd want to be up during that time because this is a really good opportunity, right? 4 hour breaker, 15 minute change in state. Obvious draw on liquidity is the RTH gap. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just like frustrating for me because it feels like I constantly just miss the next opportunity. I know that's not going to be the case forever, but in the short term, it's definitely annoying. And then once again, you can enter as an inducement of this high, and I call this flow state inducement. And you just pair your entry. Yeah, this one's a textbook trade. And pair your entry with and you could even pair the entry with an inducement and have a tight stop loss if you really wanted to, and this is gonna be brilliant. But we had a very obvious RTH gap below, so maybe I need to trade London more. I don't know. Yeah, this one's straight from the textbook. And then as well, you can target the fill of the RTH gap. But you could have entered as well as an inducement of that high. Well, guys, I'm trying my best. Obviously, I wish I could trade London every day, but I literally can't. Like, how am I supposed to do that and get enough sleep and trade, and you know what I mean? I'm doing the best that I can with what I can do. It was out of my control. Like, I can't take a trade that it's outside my live trading window, right? I don't know what the right decision is or right thing to do is, but obviously it's frustrating, because that was clean. Once again, if you think that you have a change in state and there's an old high above the change in state, you can enter there, and that's going to be usually more of a sniper entry. Yeah, looks like we're likely gonna fill this RTH gap here. I guess let's screenshot this. It's also a 4-hour for value gap, so you can use it as a 4-hour breaker, 4-hour for value gap, doesn't really matter. Anyway, guys, we're still here, we're still showing up. Obviously, it's not like fun to see that we already missed the move, but whatever, you know. This is a good way to practice discipline and just practice showing up. So this was a flow state retest at 3:30. But every day I get a little bit better. I learn something new, like how I'm gonna do something like this week. I realized like I should really only allow myself to take a trade during New York, which is my live trading window, because I'm trying to be successful in the long term, right? In the long term, all these random trades I take where I'm not up and on my computer and analyzing it professionally, and I just kind of like look at it on my phone and then take it at like 6 a.m. or 4 a.m. or something like that. Those type of trades are gonna eat away at my long-term gains, and so I'm just like, yeah, I should really only be trading when I'm in my live trading window, fully focused, and that's it. And so it's like every day I think of things that I can do that can make my trading better, and that's what matters in the long term, right? Oh my gosh. Yeah, like I said, the RTH getting filled is the draw. Anyway, right now I'm setting up my risk settings and getting all that stuff set up. Just a little disappointed in the move already happening, but what is there to say other than we're here, we're trying our best, so. All right, but yeah, like I said, we're just here. We're showing up. Well, we could end up getting a lower time frame scalp because but I'm not. It would have to come to me once again, as it always has. So, Kirk, you're not first, bro. You're not first. But like I've been saying, guys, obviously it's disappointing to see, like, wow, the trade of the day already happened during London. We had such an obvious draw on liquidity. One thing I'm learning, guys, is honestly, I think to simplify my bias every single day, I'm always just gonna use RTH gaps. I think that is going to make it so streamlined, so simple, and you guys can say, well, why don't you look at these other things and all that stuff? Like, no, bro, simplicity is so good. For me, I'm just gonna use RTH gaps for bias every single day, because RTH gaps, statistically, they're gonna give me an edge, bro. And all I care about, is having an edge. I don't need to be perfect, right? So I'm gonna just be looking to target the nearest RTH gap, essentially, when I get on the charts every single day. And I think that's, and obviously, there's going to be exceptions, but like, for the most part, like, I'm just going to look at where's the RTH gap, and we're going to look to target that. It's a very simple way to determine your bias, and, I might make a video on this soon where daily bias simplified, target the nearest RTH gap. I'm not quite long, bro. I'm not quite long. I mean, I'm honestly nothing, bro. I'm honestly nothing. I'm not even looking to take a trade, because this is not looking like an opportunistic market. This is looking like a move is complete type of market. And I don't know what else to say other than, well, let's just sit here for our live trading window and see what the market presents. Because obviously, I'd love to take a trade, but not if there's not opportunity. And it's annoying, alright? But whatever. I'm going to actually put that in my notes as an idea for a video, because I think that's going to be pretty solid, honestly. Like daily bias simplified, guys, just look for the nearest RTH gap, and then target it. Daily bias simplified. Oh, I already wrote it down. But it's important to note, like, we're gonna get an RTH gap right now, right? We're gonna get an RTH gap actually right now, because we're all the way down here, right? So there's gonna be an RTH gap that forms to the upside, essentially right as soon as New York opens. So that could mean not now, obviously. Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, the RTH gap's going to form to the upside. And I was just thinking this as well. Like, literally, as you typed that, I was thinking this as well. Like, we're going to end up forming an RTH gap back to the upside. Now, it's quite a big RTH gap, and once again, a lot of time when you form a big RTH gap, the market's not going to come back to it right away. Does that make sense? Like, this is maybe too big of an RTH gap for us to come back to it right away. I'm not going to lie. I don't think we're going to come back to it. So like, if it's a big RTH gap, typically that means you're not going to come back to it right away. But we'll see. What would Taji do? Bro, he'd get 5 girls to come over to his apartment. That's what he would do. Alright, PDLL 800 PDLL action liquidate. They say oh my. Alright. Yeah, I set up the daily loss limit 800. Let's make sure it's set up on the other account as well. 800 liquidate. 800 liquidate. Okay. Guys, you know, obviously this is super lame. Then again, could we just be like, oh yeah, we're getting a daily inversion for value gap, and be like, let's take a daily trade. Let's not do that, guys. But we actually do look like we're going to end up getting this, and then, you know, at which point nice low resistant bodies here. You know what I'm saying? Nice low resistant bodies, and well, we could draw down there, right? Once again, because this is going to be liquidity void. Once again, this is not going to act as a gap because of liquidity, if it did decide to come down here. So maybe we short on a personal with 1 micro. Just kidding. But like low key, like this is probably gonna work out, right? It's like the other day when I was saying like that other trade would work out. Same thing. Let's go ahead and put this in daily chart for my journal. So yeah, we could end up getting that. Do we have any RTH gaps below? Yeah, we got an RTH gap here. You know, the way RTH gaps form is very fascinating because if a RTH gap's gonna form, like if you think about it, you're gonna know when the market is going to have that move, whether it be London or whether it be in New York. I'm not saying that, you know, right now I'm able to predict that, but that's a very advanced thought. Like, theoretically, right, if you know that we should expand lower but then not expand back higher, then you should know that the RTH gap is not going to form back to the upside, so you should know the move lower is likely not to happen in London and likely to happen in New York. You know what I'm saying? I know that kind of sounds really complicated, and I honestly, my brain can't comprehend it right now. But like theoretically, when you get really good at trading, you could maybe like know, okay, well, since the RTH gap is, uh, since the drawn liquidity is lower, the RTH gap isn't going to form back to the upside because, and so you can say, okay, we should get the move in London, or no, we should get the move in New York. I don't know, bro. Like that's just a crazy thought, but like I bet you that actually probably, and that's an advanced technique probably. But yeah, I think we'll get this daily inversion for value gap. Yeah. This kind of feels like a data low. Was this a data low? Yeah, bro. This is a one setup for life. Look, that was a FOMC. That's a data low. Yup. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense, guys. So this is a daily one setup for life right now. So FOMC data low. So this is the draw on liquidity. Guys, and if you guys don't believe me, like, oh, one setup for lives don't happen on the daily chart, bro. That's stupid. No, bro. They do. They 100% do, right? You just have to know. For instance, I'll show you like 3 examples. Right? Here's the DeepSeek announcement, right? DeepSeek announcement, daily inversion for value gap. Right? Here is the Trump tariff wick. Trump tariff wick, 4-hour inversion for value gap down here. And then here is we had a I believe this was like some kind of attack on someone. And then we had an inversion for value gap down. So the point is, one setups for life happen on the daily chart. And yeah. I'm a message dodgy. just let Dad Dodgy know. Yeah, guys. This honestly makes me wanna. I don't know, like. Obviously, I can't take this trade. Father Dachi. Kirk. Cause I like. This is like. I guess you could risk one micro, but you have to basically say, okay, yeah, there's basically not going to be a stop. It's going to be a tight stop. I don't like that. I guess it could work, though. And then we got LRLR all through here. We'll probably continue lower. I'm very happy we're going away from all-time highs, though. I'll say that much. I'm very happy about that. Let's go. So I could take. Honestly, guys, I think this is such an amazing draw on liquidity. We could look for some kind of trade and then take, higher time frame target, lower time frame entry type of thing. It's always a possibility to do something like that, but not saying that that's easy. But we did almost do it yesterday, right? Yesterday we had that exact idea. We had low resistance lows, and we tried taking that sniper entry within here, and it was almost 20-1, but I got stopped out to a tick, and then it went down to that higher time frame target. But same thing, like we're probably drawn to this data wick, which is FOMC. So maybe we could take a lower time frame entry to target a higher time frame draw. But like, yeah, I feel like we'll draw down here. I don't know, guys. I think the draw on liquidity is pretty obvious. You know what I'm saying? And it's just frustrating because I feel like this is always what happens to us, At least to me. Yeah, draw on liquidity is pretty obvious at this point. Guys, FA was right about the dump, dude. FA called it days ago. Days ago. The RTH gap that's going to form to the downside, in my opinion, we will not come back to it right away because it's going to be way too big. It's going to be way too big. And when it's too big, you don't come back to it a lot of time right away. So just keep that in mind. That's kind of something I've learned through screen time. Also, ICT has said it many times. We're going to get a 2. Oh my gosh, look at that 2-day inversion for value gap. Dang. That is clean. That is clean. 2-day inversion for value gap. Maybe I should take a swing trade on personal. Because I can do that. It's personal. You know what I mean? But I'm not technically supposed to. But like, dude. No, I'm not supposed to do that is the thing. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I'd be breaking my rules if I did that. Because once again, I'm only doing my real trades during New York. Is kind of the what I'm trying to do now. But once again, like right now, it's the issue is I really only see opportunity via this higher time frame. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. Like the lower time frame is not offering trades. The higher time frame is clearly. Higher time frame is way cleaner than like the higher time frame right now is the lower time frame chart. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know, man. It's obviously I wish I could. I don't know. I don't know what's the right move to do. The issue is I need an actual entry. I can't just say, oh, I'm going to just enter anticipating the daily gap to inverse because I don't know if it's going to inverse. Like, I mean, if this closed right now, then that'd be perfect. But we don't know if that's going to happen. But yeah, I'm extremely bearish here. I mean, yeah, I do want a short. Oh, nice. There's 6 watching. That's pretty good. That's more than I thought. It's like none of you guys talk, bro. Oh my gosh. Guys. To me, this is pretty obvious. But this is not going to close for 7 hours. And then I'm not willing to take the lower time frame before the higher time frame closes here. So, and also, this is a swing trade, right? This is a swing trade. What do you think our drawn liquidity lower is? FOMC wick. FOMC wick. Right? And then there's also going to be 2 RTH gaps. So this first drawn liquidity is the FOMC wick. And then I don't know. I don't know if we get through this gap or not. Or if this ends up becoming a void. But I think that first target will be the FOMC wick. But I could also see it running into this consolidation. And then let's see. And then tap. Maybe we don't run the LRLR, but we tap this POC right? We could tap that liquidity pool. And then, so that's case number 2. Case number 1, FOMC wick. Case number 2, this liquidity pool. Extreme case, we could come down to these low resistance lows and then purge this consolidation, but I don't know if that's going to happen realistically. But it could. Guys, do you think I can take a swing trade? If I take the trade in New York session, can I take a swing trade or not? I feel like that's against my rules, dude. I'm not supposed to be doing swing trades right now. But it's just really obvious, you know? I don't know. Is there a vulture model here on the 15 for 930 open to manipulate for the drawn liquidity lower? True, right? If there's a vulture model, then we could take that. Wait, so you're saying this 15-minute for value gap, we should look for a volume imbalance above it? You see a volume imbalance? This is a tiny one. There's a tiny one right here. There's also one right here. Probably go for the lower one, right? And then stop above the swing high. Only issue is this isn't really vulture model because it's not. Is this a 2022 model? Actually, it kind of is, right? Yeah, because I guess we swept out the high. Liquidity sweep, break of structure. I mean, it's not. I feel like it's not a trade that looks normal in my back testing. I will say that. Where's true open? Session true open. It's all the way up there. But look at this. We got S&T at the bottom of the RTH fill. The RTH gap got filled. Man, I don't know, bro. I don't want to force something. I think I'm forcing something here. I'm not going to lie. This is not obvious to me. So, we'll just wait. We'll just wait. We did get SMT after filling the RTH gap. I still think the drawn liquidity is lower. We're obviously expanding for some reason, so we're probably drawing to that data wick. Big reason for why we're getting a reaction here is not only that we filled the RTH gap, but Oh, I have a pretty clear 15-minute for value gap here.
Mm.
15-minute for value gap. And then we had a 1-minute change in state. So yeah, we have low resistance highs. This could be low resistance or it could be high resistance. I don't know yet. It could be high resistance for sure. Not, 15-minute gap, S&T, we filled the RTH. It's probably going to be high resistance, don't you think? We're still expanding towards that draw. So people will probably think this is low resistance, but it'll end up being high resistance. So, right, we have this for value gap here. We got, what, 8 minutes to market open? Guys, I don't want to force something. I'm going to go to the bathroom and then come back and reset. But yeah, this volume imbalance, it's a good place for the market to reverse off of, but I don't think it fits in with one of my models because I'm not seeing like. Wait, I guess maybe like sweep, liquidity sweep, break of structure. I don't know. It's not obvious to me. It's not obvious. Okay. So let's see here. So, I'm definitely bearish. I think we'll still expand to this low. One thing we could do is we could see if this is a higher time frame sell model. Yeah, bro, obviously it is. Look, 4-hour change in state right here. And look at how we tap it. So we're obviously expanding lower off of that 4-hour change in state. We just tapped the first standard deviation. What's up, Osama? Right now we're just preparing for market open. Right, we have market open in 4 minutes, and I'm kind of trying to figure out. Okay, obviously to me, higher time frame, we're getting this inversion for value gap. I'm honestly pretty bearish. I think we're gonna get a one setup for life to this FOMC wick. But what I'm wondering is like, okay, what's the opportunity here on the lower time frame? That's the issue, right? We have maybe this 15-minute for value gap. We could take this and turn it into a flow state off of a 15. I mean, I'm not trying to force anything that's not obvious here. So yeah, we also have 5-minute gap. We might just need to look at this 5-minute gap and then see, how we respond to it. And then if we get 1-minute change in state, we could take something off of it. 5-minute gap in premium. Let's see if it's in the fair value gap partition, right? Because that'll make it higher probability. It's always worthwhile to check. It's close. Yeah, so we might barely tap that partition. So badly I want to put a limit order at the volume imbalance, like just in case, if we react there. But I don't think that that's necessarily how I should trade, right? But on personal, I want to. On personal, I want to, and then maybe you can even put stop loss above this high. But I can't really do that. Okay, let's practice. So let's say this was 0.4. So no trade on personal, 4 micros on top. Is that 16 micros on Apex? Well, I'd probably take the trade on personal. I'll just have a tight stop. I don't know. So this seems like we had a liquidity sweep. We're just kind of just watching right now. Right, I am bearish. I kind of want to see the market continue lower. So market open is in 1 minute, guys. Market open is in 1 minute. $22-minute true open. All right, we're dumping apparently. Well, What am I supposed to say? I know that I wanted the draw on liquidity to be lower, but like we're not getting anything. Yeah, bro. The target is the FOMC wick, bro. This is the draw on liquidity. It's so obvious, right? FOMC wick. And the reason is because it's a daily dodgy one setup for life, right? Look at this. We're inversing the daily for value gap, so we're gonna draw probably, in my opinion, I think we'll draw down to this daily FOMC wick. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to find a lower time frame entry so I don't get wrecked. I don't know, man. It's like, where's first percent for value gap? Can we get that, please? Oh my, bro. We're just going lower. We're not getting. The market's not giving us any opportunity. Trying to be patient, but I feel like I've been patient for so long. It's like no matter what I do, it just patience is just. I don't know. I gotta keep having patience though. SMT with YM here. Once again, I'm not bullish. I'm not bullish, dude. I think, you know what? We actually might end up. We had a 15-minute gap here, right? Okay, we might actually consider taking this where we have a 1-minute change in state here. I honestly, I don't want to take something, but this is like we could end up it's not necessarily lipo, but in terms of drawing liquidity, I'm not gonna do anything, bro. So this would be 3 if I did decide to take this. Should I take it? It's not like, once again, like I don't really want to take lower time frame. This is probably gonna work, right? Like, once again, I'm trying to have patience, and I don't want to take something right now that I'm not sure about. Is this the first percent for IGAP? Dang, bro. That's already playing out, huh? Bro. What's wrong with me, bro? The same exact thing happened yesterday, dude. then you just get FOMO. You just get FOMO like crazy, dude. What? Why? WSY 474? What? Oh my gosh, bro. Literally can't do anything right, bro. I can't do anything right, bro. If I don't take something, if I do take something, what's going on with YM though? Obviously, John Liquidity's lower. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was a 15-minute gap, 1 minute change in state. Hmm. But yeah, higher time frame sell model, so I should have just taken it, bro. Because even if it's not a like crazy good short, it's probably still gonna work. Feeling crazy FOMO. No matter what I do, bro, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. Yeah, like, I don't know, the market just kind of like Mark is just making fun of me at this point, bro. Oh. Hop in. Oh my. That's not how it works, bro. You can't just hop in. Alright, TPU's about to hit, bro. Why didn't I take it? Because I didn't know if I didn't think it was necessarily a good trade, bro. I didn't think it was necessarily a good trade. I didn't know. I thought it might have been, but I didn't know. Yeah, it's the high time frame context is exactly why I would take it. The high time frame context is exactly why. Because the high time frame is inversing. So dude, I'm trying to be disciplined, bro. I'm trying to be disciplined and not take trades I'm not sure about. But I should have just taken it, bro. I don't know what to do. I'm trying, guys. We're obviously drawn to the data wick. I need to go take a breather, bro. Man, I'm like trying to be disciplined. I'm trying so hard to be disciplined. And I just feel like no matter what I do, it's the wrong decision. Even when it's not. Well, let's watch the first presented for value gap. If we do get an opportunity today, did Dodgy take the IPG? Yeah, I really hope I'm not FOMOing here, but I think if we tap the first presented for value gap, wherever that is, I'll take short off of it. Could be a mistake. Yeah. Let's check to see if there's a volume imbalance above the first presented for value gap. And I'm just gonna take it, bro. I don't like that I'm, kind of just taking. It feels like a revenge trade almost. It feels like a revenge trade. I'm not gonna lie. It might even be a revenge trade, but guys, I don't know. I'm just kind of like super cheesed right now. I'm super cheesed. Like, I just feel like the market is just. I don't know. It's just like I hate that I'm always right, yet I can't do it right. That's what bothers me, bro. I'm always right, but I can't do it right. First one for value gap is nicely placed in premium. We did get 1 minute change in state here. I'm not bullish though, is the thing. I'm not bullish. If you were bullish, 1 minute change in state. Maybe 15-minute PD ray. Yeah, 15-minute for value gap here. Once again, I think we're drawn to the FOMC data wick. But 15-minute for value gap, 1 minute change in state of delivery. That's drawing, the market's drawing higher off of that. You can even go break even at that point. I'm personally gonna short at the first presented for value gap. With a change in state off of it. I mean, unless, I don't know. I'm just gonna try my best. Where's 922? 922 is all the way up there. We might actually inverse the first presented for value gap. Who knows? I'm actually not even sure now. But that 1 minute change in state we just got off of the 15-minute gap. Oh, did the RTH gap start to form to the upside? Yeah. There's the RTH gap to the upside once again. Drawn liquidity's lower, so I'm not quite sure that it's gonna happen, but could. Look, you can see this is already failing, right? Because drawn liquidity is lower. Here's a 5-minute gap. Once again, we're expanding lower, so all right, guys. I think I'm very much considering taking this. I already missed it, bro. Maybe we'll retest it. Once again, 5-minute gap, 30-second change in state. Drawn liquidity is lower. Dude, I missed it again, bro. I missed it again by a millisecond because I was unsure. I don't know, man. I just feel like I'm in a FOMO something right now. Obviously, I'm not. Maybe I'll just take this inversion, bro. News at there's news. Oh yeah. Okay, I could put a limit order at the change in state. Let's just do it. Limit order at the change in state for 3. So 3. So 3 times 4 is 12. So 12 on top step. And then 48 on apex. Well, no, 36 on apex. I don't know if this is that good of a trade, guys. I think this is more of like a FOMO trade. I'm not even gonna lie, guys. Um, yeah, wait, let's just not take it. Let's just not take it. I don't want to take a loss. Wait, if the 3 minute inverses. If the 3 minute inverses. This is not Lipo, bro. I'm FOMOing hard, bro. I'm FOMOing hard, dude. I'm FOMOing. Oh my gosh. Alright. I might just need to go on a walk, guys. Alright. I'm just gonna go on a walk. Alright, we might just need to completely reset here. Yo, did we that just wicked people in on the 30-second change in state, I'm pretty sure. On micros it did. Dang, bro. If I had actually had that limit order, it would have filled me, and then I'd be a big profit, but I'm not. Once again, best trade that I could possibly take right now is first presented for value gap, where this is very similar to that trade from quite a while ago. You guys may remember there was a trade that looked exactly like this, where we came up to premium. Once again, this for value gap wasn't discount. Not super ideal, but there was another trade that was similar where we came up to premium and then we had the first presented for value gap. Or no, it was just I think it was just a regular 5 minute gap. It might have been the first presented for value gap. So yeah, I'm looking for the first presented for value gap to get tapped. And then we could look for SMT here. Maybe a purge of this liquidity, of this consolidation. Yeah, it looks like we're going to wreck through that. So, once again, that would have been a FOMO trade, and I'm very glad I did not do anything. Right? That's not a good trade. Okay. So you could argue this is a 2022 gap as well because liquidity sweep, break of structure, fair value gap. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if it's in the fair value gap partition. This actually was probably Phoenix model. Yo, this was my guess. My guess is this was Phoenix model. Right? Because here's the rejection block. Wait, there actually might be a volume imbalance. What I was trying to say is we got SMT with this, right? Notice how we got SMT with this into the rejection block. Probably was a 5-minute rejection block. Okay, guys, this is actually looking good for a trade. And I honestly want to target the, obviously scale out, but the final target is the FOMC wick. Okay, guys, lock in. Lock in. It's time to lock in, guys. First minute for value gap. Here we go. Look, it's a 2022 gap as well. Guys, we gotta lock in here. This is actual opportunity, right? Let's drop this down to dealing range, slide it up. Alright, we gotta lock in here. This is the high. Oh, look at the first center for value gap. Right at the high of a new dealing range. So, that's interesting. So, we just took that high. I honestly kind of want to see SMT with this little swing high here. So one of these assets, I want to see it take that high. Dang, YM. So YM is like, what in the world happens with YM, bro? Let's lock in, guys. Then again, we could inverse the first percentage for value gap. So I'm not gonna be scared. If we get something, we can take it. Not bullish, bro. Not bullish. So I don't know if we inverse this, probably won't take it. We need S&P to take this. $9.45, 10.07, right? That's 22-minute SMT. This is 22-minute SMT if we ended up getting this. Maybe Nas is the one that needs to take it. Alright, there's that swing high. We have not gotten an S&T yet. Kind of want to see S&T. Still want to see. I still think we need to see S&T. We might need to sweep out this. In my opinion, drawn liquidity is still lower. Do we end up getting 90-minute S&T? Wait, this is so fascinating. 7:30. I think the reason YM did this is to take 7:30. Dude, that is why, bro. Wait, look at this, guys. You see why YM diverged like crazy, but took 7:30? This is why. Or YM, the reason that YM diverged like crazy is because YM needed to take 7:30. No, that's crazy. Interesting. Look at that. Okay, now we still have SMT with YM. We did inverse the first presented, didn't we? Yeah, you can see we inversed the first presented, so we're going higher at this point. 10 a.m. It's so interesting. 10 a.m. forms, and then we expand higher. Okay, this inversion, right? I'm not really bullish, but I'm not really bullish. We still have SMT with. Actually, we have SMT with YM here. So this is partial 90-minute SMT. Oh, yo, this might be Phoenix model right here. SMT with rejection block right here. It's always possible. Yeah, we tap consequent encroachment. We got SMT with that rejection block. 30-second change in state. Yo, guys, should we take this? We tap consequent encroachment perfectly. Don't want to make a mistake, though. Yeah, look. Look. Phoenix model, consequent encroachment tapped. So this would be 36, 12, and then 1. I don't know, man. I feel like maybe it's not enough confluences because it's just the SMT and a rejection block, and I don't know if that's enough. Right, but this would be 5-minute rejection block, 30-second change in state. Oh, wait. Bring this down. Set this to 243. I think this is the high of the dealing range. Like, let's actually, we have to switch this back to 81. Yeah, so the rejection block is forming at that rejection block partition. But, yeah, I don't know. So that could have been inducement. If that was inducement, that would be crazy. I don't know, though. Nope. So, might be offside here. Trying to have discipline, guys. Trying to have patience. This 5-minute did inverse. Honestly, still looking for shorts. I'm not going to lie. I'm still bearish. I still think the FOMC data wick drawn liquidity. It's kind of what I think, right? I could be so wrong right now, actually. I could be so wrong. Oh, maybe the reason is because YM already took it. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Wow, we are... I don't know, guys. I'm not convinced of anything right now. Now this daily inversion for value up does not look as good because, yeah, it just doesn't. Unless we continue lower. $15-minute had a nice inversion for value gap. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Man, this is interesting. Only thing is, it's pretty obvious now that we ended up a 15-minute. That's a nice looking 15-minute inversion. We delivered from a 15-minute gap here. Oh yeah. Yeah, we got the RTH still. Yeah, let's just stay short bias, because honestly, for someone who is short, this is pretty ideal. You would think, right? This would be pretty ideal. 15-minute gap. And this inversion for value gap might be inducing longs. It's very possible, right? Because if bias is truly short, then low time inversion for value gaps, like, you know, they induce longs. So now we got a sweep of this high. Okay, 1 minute change to delivery would be actually really, really good. Don't you think? With a 15-minute gap and a liquidity sweep. Like if we ended up going like this. Yo, do we have a volume imbalance above this gap? We got SMT with this high. If we get 1 minute change in state here, I think that's going to be the move. This is a 90-minute S&T, right? Yeah, with this high. Yeah, this is a pure 90-minute SMT. Maybe this is high resistance, guys. Maybe this is high resistance. I don't know, though. It kind of looks like we broke it. And then now... we're 7:30. We might be reaching for 7:30. I think we might be reaching for 7:30, honestly. So That would be very, very interesting if we ended up sweeping 730 and held this SMT. Let's see if this was a CRT, and then if so, what candle would be targeted. Yeah, this is gonna be CRT high, like around here. Where's the 1 hour SIBI? We might IOFED the 1 hour SIBI. SIBI is a fair value gap. SIBI is the same as fair value gap. I still need to make a video on that. Because I always wondered why they called it different. And it's just, SIBI is a bearish fair value gap. BISI is a bullish fair value gap. Yeah, I've always been meaning to make a video on that. I just forget. So, this could be IOFED. Like, I don't know. Imagine if this is a soup. So far, it might not be. So... Ooh, we're getting reaction. Did we hold this SMT? Yeah, we are. That's this blue line right here. Have this marked out as possible IOFED, meaning we tap this. But did we get SMT? These look like equal highs, bro. That doesn't look like SMT at all. That looks like equal highs. Dude, maybe we're offside, bro. I think we could be offside because 5 minute had that beautiful inversion, and now, you know. But yeah, it does kind of look like we still have SMT, huh? Yeah, we still have SMT with this high. And we did tap. You know what? Let's just be patient. SMT with this high. The market rewards patient people who stick to their plan. You know what I mean? Then once again, we IOFED'd this. Notice how we tapped the fair value gap on NAS and not on ES. Okay, this is looking nice, bro. This is looking nice. Didn't we sweep 732? Okay, 15-minute for value gap. 1 minute change in state. Three. So I still have the setup to do 3. Considering taking a short. Yeah, we could do it even like this. We did sweep 730 with this SMT, right? So like I said, this 1 minute change of state, it could end up working. I don't know. Same as before, like, I don't know. It looks pretty good. I might just wait for the lower one, to be honest. I might wait for this lower one, and then... Yeah, I might wait for the lower one. Like this. Maybe then I'll do 2 cons. Then I'll do 2 cons. Are we going into the macro? So this looks a little cleaner, right? So if this would be more of a clean trade, right? Less noise, more obvious. In my journal, I'll be more proud. You know what I mean? So this would be 2. Okay, so if I'm doing 2, it would be 8 on Top Step, 24 on Apex. I'm preparing to take this. I could also take this this change in state here. And then I'm not gonna enter on my personal unless we tap OTE of that leg. Because otherwise, the risk is too much. So that's failing. Okay. Moments like this, I'm glad I'm patient because this 1 minute change of state so far is failing. Then again, actually, it might not be failing. It's possible that we're just tapping OTE. I mean, there is 90-minute SMT with YM over here. Wait, this is 90-minute SMT right here, right? So this could be an OTE tap sniper model. Oh my gosh. What are you guys thinking? We might be getting change in state. But guys, I don't know. 15-minute change in state looks bullish. You're okay, so you're bullish. Yeah, bro, I think maybe we should have been bullish now. Then again, actually, it still is a 1 hour gap. Wait, 5-minute gap here. Wait, I like this better. 5-minute gap, 30-second change in state. But is there SMT though? Four. $48, and then that'd be 16. Considering something like this, but once again, I'm not sure, so maybe it'd be better to take a 15-minute. Who is bullish? I thought you were saying you took a long, so I thought you were bullish. Still kind of want to see this 1 minute change state. We still have SMT, I think. But then again, guys, the 15-minute inverse to the upside and 15-minute change of state to the upside. But we're in a 1 hour gap. Alright. Yeah, no real 1 minute break of structure. This had a 1 minute break of structure, and then that was a fair value gap, and then we expanded. Kind of looks like a more of a buy model though. At this point, don't you think? Like look at the way we went down and then back up. Don't you think it's kind of looking like more of a buy model, Kirk? Like now all this could be low resistance. Do we have a 4-hour PD array there? Down here? Oh, wait a second. Monday. Where's Monday, 18 o'clock? True session. Oh, true opens. True week. There's a true week open that we swept. Yeah, we had a 4-hour implied BPR. That's why we're getting this retracement. Yeah, this is a 15-minute change in state. So I think this is bullish, Kirk. I think we're offside. This 15-minute inversion looks nice. So this was a 5-minute breaker. "30-second change in state could deliver us up to this LRLR. I think let's take this, bro. If we retest it. Okay, I'm gonna take this.
Order filled.
And then we got LRLR above. I might go break even pretty fast though, because I don't know if I have a lot of conviction in this trade, honestly. Honestly, I'm changing my mind, bro. This is not a good trade. Oh my gosh. FOMO got the best of me, guys. This is not a good trade, bro. This is not a good trade at all, bro. Okay, I'm gonna get out, bro.
Order filled.
That was not a good trade.
Order filled.
I'm closing everything down, bro. Okay, so I'm done for the day. Ended the day on a half size loss. That was a stupid trade, bro. That was a stupid trade. FOMO got the best of me. It's crazy, man. I sit here for 2 hours and FOMO gets me. But anyway, let's go ahead and journal it. Half size loss. But dude, I'm just disappointed. That was not a good trade, bro. I cut it early. I cut it early because it was a stupid trade. Dude, I just did not think that it was a good trade. I still don't. I still do not think this is a good trade, dude. I'm just mad, bro. Like I feel like I'm just anyway, I have to be done now. And it's just frustrating because everything I do is wrong and then everything I don't do is everything I do is wrong and everything I don't do ends up being right. And it's like it takes a toll on you, It takes a toll on you. It's not even that I'm trying to be emotional. It's not that I'm just trying to make the right decisions. And every single day, it ends up being the wrong decision. And it takes a toll on you. And but whatever. Following my rules, just being done for the day, just accepting that this was not a good trade. And yeah. I mean, this was not a good trade. I mean, in the moment, you kind of just feel like you just try to make the best decision you can, and then, I don't know. I probably should not have exited it early, bro. I should have just let it play out, but it's never good. I just don't like, if it's not a good trade, I'm upset about it, obviously. You know what I mean? Like, I'm upset that I took a trade that I didn't like. That's the main thing I'm upset about. Dude, I don't know. Whatever. There's definitely something to learn from this, though. You know what I mean? Like, there's obviously something to learn from this from an emotional control standpoint. Like, I don't know. I don't know what there is to learn, but there's something. Stupid fly, bro. Oh no, I'm sorry. Dang it, D-Trader. That's never good. But yeah, I'm done for the day. I'm trying to be disciplined. I'm trying to do the right thing, and it's like, I don't know. I think, it was a bad trade, so I think I should have gotten out and preserved profits. But at the same time, I don't want to be too scared to not take a trade, but on the same time as well, like, you know what I mean? It's a hard mental battle. Oh my gosh. You're kidding. That's the worst, dude. I'm sorry. You won the longs for 39R. What the crap? I can't tell if you're being serious. 39R? Bro, are you a millionaire yet? That's crazy. Dude. I don't know, man. I don't know the right decisions to make most of the time, and especially on a low time frame. uh, you're serious? That's crazy. Not happy about this, man. Bro, he taught you personally? I thought you were quitting trading to do drop shipping. Are you still doing that? Bro, there's no way to draw this, which makes it look good. It's just a bad trade, bro. I FOMO'd like crazy. Drop shipping on the side. Nice, bro. Drop ship trading? What? Bro, I am just so sick of taking bad trades. I don't know, man. I'm trying so hard, guys. I'm trying so hard to be disciplined. You're in shorts, Javier? Nice, bro. Whatever, guys. It's really just all a journey, and I'm not. I need to work on emotional control, clearly. So it's a half size loss. I don't know. It wasn't even emotional. It was just like not taking a trade that wasn't that good, and I don't know. I I cracked under pressure, dude. I cracked under pressure, and it's because I missed the other trade I that I really liked. Um, and when that happens to me, bro, when I miss a trade that I liked that was good earlier, then I crack under pressure. I'm gonna put this in my notes for the log. Not a good trade. I cracked under pressure. I missed a 4-1 earlier in the day, and it made me feel like the fact I was not executing and too conservative with entering was hurting me. So then I enter a trade which it's hard to explain. Like I enter a trade which was not amazing and took a half size loss. It the missing the 4-1 earlier in the day definitely messed with me. You know what I'm saying, guys? It's so psychological. But whatever, guys. I don't care. I'm just on a journey. A long, long journey. Dude. And I also broke my rule of whenever I enter a trade, I need to have it show up on the screen. I mean, I didn't really make that a rule, but like I want to have that be a rule. Whatever, guys. We move on to tomorrow. It's just a process. It's all part of the process. Nice, bro. yeah, guys, at the end of the day, guys, it's all just a process. And I know that I'm just like, from an outside perspective, you're like, wow, he's just being dumb. I'm like, no, I'm really trying not to be dumb. I'm trying my best. But, you know, it's not easy. Whatever, guys. Like, it's so hard because, like, you feel like you just always, no matter what you do, you just do it wrong. That's why it's so important to be at peace. It's just my life. I'm never at peace, bro, and that's I can't. I don't know what to do about that. Like, I don't know. That's just not like simple fix. Like, I don't know what to do. So. Okay, 8 minutes left. Guys, I'm trying. I'm gonna end the stream here. Yeah, let's just end the stream here. It's 11:05 Eastern. Close enough to, the end of the stream. Oh, I can't lie, guys. I'm very, very, it's obviously saddening. Like, I'm just trying, but it's never good enough, so. Alright, guys. I'm gonna end the stream here. Peace out, everyone. Thank you guys for watching.